This is Inspiring Careers with your host, Ingrid Centurion. We're going to talk about fascinating technologies that will impact your future. Meet inspiring entrepreneurs and people that are making huge differences in the community and around the world. We're going to share career and life lessons of inspiration and success. Our mission is to inspire our viewers to make a better life for themselves by sharing our stories, our interviews, and documentaries. Please stay tuned as we have incredible guests coming up. Today we have Shanna Jackman with us. She's an award-winning singer, songwriter. Her music is centered in country with deep roots that reach deep rock, pop, soul, and she provides high-energy shows. She supports the military, and she's going to sing for us today 2 songs, Answer the Call and We've Got Your Back. Thank you for being on the show with us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I want to share about your story. You know, you're a dispatcher. You've been a dispatcher for 15 years.
Yes.
That's how you came up with the words, possibly, for your song.
Yeah.
Right? And when you, I know you started singing at a very young age.
Yeah.
Share a little bit about us, you know, when you first started singing and what really launched your career.
Absolutely. So my mom said I was humming along to commercials as a kid. So I was really musical very early on, and she was musical, so it was so natural and in the home. So I was singing very young. My first performance on stage was in junior high, the talent show, and that was the first time I got on stage and sang in front of people. It was, hopefully no one has a video of that anywhere.
Were you nervous?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you were.
My mom was the typical like pageant mom, like, okay, now do this, and like in the background, like trying to like help me perform because entertaining was like so nerve-wracking.
And your natural voice. Your voice is just natural. Have you had any voice lessons?
I have. I think vocally as a singer, it's a nature and nurture talent, I guess.
Right.
Part of it is I feel like I was gifted, you know, I had, and then it takes training and learning how to use it properly. So definitely I've had vocal lessons publicly and privately for many, many years.
So if they're a singer out there and they're good, it's still important to take lessons and learn how to control that voice, right?
Absolutely, and not damage it. Because, you know, often we forget the fact that just training your voice and where to use it more properly so you get most out of your voice. Like you forget that all those important key things. Breathing is huge important. So when we talk to each other, we're not going, hi, how are you? How's it? And so you can't sing that way. So you got to learn how to breathe properly when you're singing to get the most power out of your voice too. So
tell me us about your first band in 2009 and how that really launched your career.
Yeah, so at the time karaoke was very popular. I was doing a lot of music, karaoke with country music and winning competitions and for country music. So I'm like, you know, this is really my wheelhouse. This is really where I want to focus on. Got a group of people together, of friends, started communicating, and we built a band called Not in Kansas. And I liked that idea because we were country music playing in New England. And yes, we're not from the South, but at the same time we played great country music. And I think at that time in 2009, country music was becoming more popular up here. So we got connected with the local radio station. We were performing so much and growing. We got to open up for many large national great artists as well. So it was exciting. It was exciting to be part of that. And I have since then have performed in large arenas and opened up for a lot of great artists and started writing my own songs after that. So,
and 15 years dispatching.
Yeah.
Share with us how you came up with the words for Answer the Call, and maybe you probably have some interesting stories at dispatch that you want to share with us. That if people want to be a dispatcher out there, how did you get into this dispatching stuff anyway?
My mom was a dispatcher growing up. She was a single mom of 2 girls, and she fell into it herself. I'm not even sure how she fell into it as much as that she started out, and it was a great job for her. I remember being picked up at elementary school by a cruiser to bring us to the police station to finish her shift, and I used to play around in the so it was always comfortable.
Does your mom have a good voice too?
She does sing.
Because I'm like, maybe it's your voice is so good as a dispatcher. You have to have that soft, soothing voice.
Yeah, a lot of calmness. Yeah, so that started it for sure, and then I've always loved law enforcement and being there when people need you the most. So, yeah, so I started about 15 years ago, and the experiences that I experienced in there and tying in with my music, I really wanted to write something to let people in on what we do. And I was able to work with 2 other great songwriters and singers themselves, Ayla Brown, which she's local, a lot of people may be familiar with her, and of course Lance Carpenter, and he's touring under Toby Keith right now and doing amazing things. So I went down to Nashville, recorded the song, and I'm so proud of it, and it does combine my 2 passions in life, my music and dispatching.
And share with us like an intense story at dispatch that you know and it's still memorable in your mind. You know, like if your kids would say, Mom, tell us a dispatching story.
Oh gosh, there's just so many, and some that are hard to share.
Right.
Emotional, like it makes me think about it. And when I sing the song, it's emotional.
Right.
Because I remember the first verse is about a car accident, you know, when the second verse is about an elderly person who fell and needs help. And
and these are all your stories from dispatch, right? So you don't need to tell us a sad story. I don't want to get you emotionally upset, because you're going to sing for us.
Yeah.
So sing us a cappella, Answer the Call right now.
Yeah, sure, because I talked about the 2 verses, so I'll do that. Okay. Whew. All right. Late one night, heading on home, driving too fast, radio on, hugging that curb a little too tight. Now he's hanging on for his life, upside down and all alone, hoping he could reach his phone. 80 years old, watching TV, all of a sudden it's hard to breathe. She tries to get up, then hits the ground. Wheel of Fortune spins around, sends up a prayer, thought this is it, as she pushed the button around her neck. They're the ones behind the scenes every day and night. That friendly voice you need to hear when you're fighting for your life. Not every angel wears their wings, but they're always there for you and me. To them it's just a job after all, when they answer the call.
Oh, that's nice. I want to clap, all the clap.
Thank you.
That is very emotional, very powerful.
Yeah, and I appreciate you saying that, because I was concerned of people not familiar with the job, if they would be able to connect to it. But you know, it's an honor for us in this position to be there. People need it the most, and yet it's hard. We still have to go home to our families and try not to think about it too much. Like every officer and EMS and first responder, we are first responders too, and we're the ones that get help to you. And it gets hard sometimes, and then you have ones that make us laugh and smile or roll our eyes or whatever, but to be able to, this song has been nationally recognized too by so many dispatch organizations, and I've gotten so many great feedback from dispatchers. So when I hear for someone who's not in the job too, to feel connection, that means a lot to me too.
That is so nice. Now, We've Got Your Back is a song that you created for the military. How did you come up with that?
So in 2013 is when I recorded that song in Nashville. I was creating an album, my first one at that time, and I performed the National Anthem in several places. I started in police uniform when I was a reserve police officer, actually, and hearing feedback from veterans and how much that song means to them, I felt so honored and humbled to hear their stories and to honor them by performing the National Anthem. So when I was doing this album, I said, I cannot complete this album without writing a song to thank our military families, listening to their stories, and for anyone, man or woman, to make that decision to fight for our country is not something to take lightly. And the family members who wait for them to come home, and just I wanted to write something to thank them. It's just simple, no fireworks, no, big, I don't know, just something simple to just say, you have our backs when you're overseas fighting for this country, and I want you to know that we're here and we have your back when you come home, when you're away and your family are here. And I try not to get emotional too, but it's one of the other most proud songs.
And you you could be a country singer, you could be a soul singer, you have all that. I wanted to ask you quickly, when you go down south, well, you look country.
Oh, thanks.
Right? What do they say when you go down south?
I feel like their eyes are on me, like, oh, she's from Massachusetts.
I know, right,
like,
right. A Yankee.
Yeah, and the first time I was in the studio, I was like, they're like, oh, you guys listen to country up north? I'm like, yes, we do. We are very country in a lot of ways. And country, to be country, is not necessarily, it's a lifestyle or it's a music that you listen to, but it doesn't necessarily mean geographically where you live. So
I know.
Yeah,
I love all kinds of musics.
I just made sure I said my R's if I could, so it wasn't too. It wasn't.
So, give us another performance here of "We've Got Your Back."
Sure. Okay. It's terrible when you write your own music. You can forget the lyrics all the time. It doesn't matter. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Either way, cover music or original music.
Right. That's hilarious.
But it's funny when you wrote it yourself and you're like, okay, where's the first? And music is always triggers me for lyrics, ironically. But anyways, okay. When the weight of the world is on you and you feel those walls closing in, when you're not really sure who the enemy is, when you're not really sure who's your friend, when you find yourself in some faraway place, wondering why you wanted to go, when you doubt the reason you're fighting for, there's one thing you want to know: we've got your back. When you stand on the front lines for us, we're the ones you can always depend on. We're the ones you can always trust. Yeah, we've got your back. And for the ones you've left here at home, we're gonna give them our shoulders to lean on. We're gonna love them like one of our own. Yeah, we've got your back.
Wow, thank you so much. I love it.
Thank you.
When your mom watches you, she cries, I bet, all the time.
Yes, she.
I know, you made me cry. It's like when you listen to someone and the words are so powerful. I always make fun of them watching American Idol, like, oh, they're crying.
Right.
But it happens.
You get it.
Right.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, I think I feel very blessed to, music connects people in so many ways, and to be able to be a part of that and bring light to certain situations where people can connect to, and especially We've Got Your Back. I've heard so many great stories, and to be able to allow the opportunity to let people know that we as a community are here for our veterans.
That's right.
It just is so important.
So what do you have coming up? You have some big performances. Tell us about that.
I have a couple. So yeah, in a couple weeks, April 14th, I believe it is, right before the Boston Marathon. So there's an organization called Military Families, and they perform they do the Tough Ruck. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before, but since the Boston Marathon, after unfortunately the bombings, they stopped allowing people to have backpacks. So the Tough Ruck is a 26.2-mile walk or run where they carry the rucksacks or backpacks on the back of them, and they do receive a Boston Marathon medal at the end of it. So the last couple of years I performed the National Anthem before the start, and then this year I'm going to be performing some songs for as they start arriving back. So I'm pretty excited about that. So please definitely check them out. A great organization to give back to our military families. And then in July, Lee Bryce, if you know country music at all, he'll be performing at the Indian Ranch in Webster. Great venue by the lake, a lot of fun, outdoor venue. And I'll be performing the National Anthem for him and his show as well. And hopefully I'll be able to do a few songs at some point there as well. So I'm excited about that. And I perform a lot with my church too.
Oh, that's great.
So we have a local church.
Where's your church? Everybody's going to go there.
Oh, I hope so.
Where's the church?
It's called New England Chapel. It's in Franklin. They are moving to a new building in the next year or two, I think in Bellingham. But I perform with them. It's a really great community within the church, and we have different musicians that play every Sunday. And so I get the opportunity to play once a month, but also with a group called the Good Neighbors, and we perform a worship night. So it's just the lights down low, and it's an intimate setting where we just play music and allow people to connect with God in a way that's comfortable for them. So I really love this new venture that's also getting me to write more again. So I'm working on an album, faith-inspired.
Wow,
just
that's
kind of to get into a
wonderful.
place where people, we all feel broken and we all feel like sometimes like go through difficult times. So I want to be able to touch people that way.
Alone,
Yeah.
and we're the only ones in the world. So many
Yeah.
people feel this way. They need family, they need friends, they need
Absolutely.
community,
Yeah.
all those things. So that's wonderful. Now, you have YouTube, you have Twitter,
Yeah.
you have all the social media.
Instagram,
Everybody can find
Facebook.
you.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
If it's easier, just you could Google my name and find it. I have a website that's just www.shannajackman.com, so you can find all the social media sites that way. But yeah, YouTube, I post a lot of videos, or when I'm performing the National Anthem for the Bruins, or if I'm doing other great events, I like to share that and with the community too. So everything's all there, and music you can download anywhere. So iTunes, Spotify, like anything like that. So the songs that I did today, you could definitely download as well.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. I want to share your story and
Thank you.
continue to support veterans, and
Yeah.
good luck on your next album.
Thank you.
Thank
I'll keep you
so
posted.
much. Yes, I know.